This is TWiT.
How about Mark Zuckerberg a week later? That came out. That took me by surprise during the show last week. I hadn't read it. I thought we had a great conversation about it.
It was a really interesting conversation, yeah.
And at the time, I reactivated my Facebook account, my Messenger account, because I believed he was sincere. And I have been since talked out of that and have deleted it again.
Oh, jeez. Ay, ay, ay.
Well, I mean, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he'll change things. But after reading, for instance, Ben Thompson's excellent commentary, Mike Mazda, Tech Dirt, Ben Thompson, and Stratechery, Walt Mossberg says he's skeptical. Casey Newton says this is huge pivot. We were kind of ourselves like, wow, this is amazing if he does it.
No. I was skeptical. I want you to know.
Well, and there's no reason to know yet, but I think I've been convinced by everybody that what Mark said, I misinterpreted. He's not going to change Facebook. He's going to add a privacy-specific messaging.
Messenger.
Yes, but he also
he's going to break down the walls between Facebook and those other services.
Right.
Well, he also says that he's changing the focus of the company. Is he going to kill Facebook tomorrow? Of course not.
No. Yeah.
No.
Or
no
ever.
We'll say that.
Or ever.
But he's basically saying that the focus of the company shifts to encryption and messaging.
I think what Ben Thompson said is he's having his privacy cake and eating it too. And what Ben says, and I think this is actually accurate, is that Mark saw a real opportunity, as we pointed out last week on WeChat Line, to be the WeChat of the West. And that's really what he's saying is, I have a brand new business opportunity, and we're going to go after it full throttle.
And Ben says at the end of the thing, it is not incompatible. A company's own desires is not necessarily incompatible with users' interests.
That's
right.
And
to presume that gets us in trouble. So it could be that this is what do we call it now? A win-win. I don't say things like that. I don't say things like that.
I think you're. He actually says.
It could be.
He actually says, here's the 3 broad takeaways. Stop expecting companies to act against their interests. Facebook is not killing their core business any more than Apple is willing to go to the mat to protect user data in China. Facebook is doing something that benefits itself. Facebook doing something that benefits itself is not inherently bad for end users.
Right, that's the point I was making.
Yep.
Yes.
It's perfectly reasonable the company can be instituting genuinely user-friendly changes like end-to-end encryption, even as it furthers its own self-interests. Relatedly, and most importantly, there needs to be much more appreciation for the anti-competitive trade-offs inherent in an absolutist approach to privacy. Facebook is doing what its fiercest critics supposedly want, but it's also enhancing its competitive position as a result.
The law of unintended consequences, folks. Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
I'll tell you what, I will use that completely private end-to-end Facebook, but I'm going to wait until that comes out before I reinstitute my Facebook account, because it's not that way now.
And I would wait, and I would do this because, am I on mute?
Nope.
No. Oh, okay. I was like, what's happening?
We're just ignoring him, that's all.
I would wait. And this is because he talked about lowering interoperability between services, which he currently says is an important aspect, is that users will be able to opt in to sharing their WeChat with their Facebook, whatever. I think, given Facebook's history, he'll say that today, and then in a year or so, we will suddenly find all of that glommed together, which, to use my example, I do have pictures of my daughter on WeChat. And I would be really bummed out if that I'd
They're on WeChat? Why are they on WeChat?
Not WeChat. I'm sorry. WhatsApp. WhatsApp. My brain.
You have friends in China?
I do actually have friends in China.
Well,
but
then you might put them on WeChat. WeChat is totally dominant in China.
Okay,
as we
replace
pointed
WeChat
out.
with WhatsApp.
Yeah. WhatsApp could be the WeChat of the West.
All the time.
It could be the WeChat of the West. It could be. This is a big opportunity. It's already dominant in a lot of, not in the U.S., but in Brazil and a lot of countries. WhatsApp India is how people communicate. And in fact, we should point out, WhatsApp has had some of the same problems Facebook's having. It's being accused in India of creating mob violence, being used to incite violence, distribute fake news. You know, it still has some of the same problems. So.
Yeah, so going to a fully encrypted world, if you're trying to enforce the law or deal with misinformation, is not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. Mark actually said in his Wired interview, quote, the work there, in terms of safety, security, and safety and spam, the work there will be harder if we only rely on detecting patterns of activity rather than being able to have the security system see the content of the messages themselves. Of course, I would argue that's true. But as a parent, for example, yeah, my life would be super easy if I kept a surveillance camera on my daughter at all times, but that's not going to help her develop and allow her to become her own person. So, sorry.
So,
Mark,
in effect, it was the Wired interview, and kudos to Nicholas Thompson at Wired, who very quickly got an interview with Mark. It was this interview that actually convinced me that I misunderstood Mark's manifesto, and it was this paragraph. The thinking is there need to be two types of platforms in the world. One is a more public platform, like the digital equivalent of a town square where you interact with a lot of people at once. That's largely what Facebook and Instagram are. The other platform is the private space, the digital equivalent to the living room, and the foundation that we have
Leo,
for WhatsApp and Messenger.
Why would you want the public to go away? Let them both exist, and those who wish to be public, like me and like you used to, can have that and can gather and can do things, and that's fine.
I don't mind being public.
Otherwise, the world turns into a turtle shell.
In all honesty, it's not me minding being public. I mind the public talking back. I don't want to hear from them. So it's you know what I'm saying? I don't mind them knowing everything about me. I just don't want to hear their thoughts about it.
First time caller. Hello. Hello. Is there anybody listening? Hello.
No, I have to be public. That's my job. But it seems like everybody has a thought about it. That kind of wears you down after a while.
That's an entirely different thing, Leo.
That's another problem.
I'm not going to go there.
Blame geeks.
Okay, so I'm a flawed human. What can I say? But, and I'd be very interested if he does take WhatsApp and or Messenger and make it fully private. But when he does, that's when I'll sign up, not until then. How about that?